getting armor upgrades on both. In a super long, scrappy game like this with Zerg, you really need those upgrades. It just makes your units so much more potent and effective, and I just don't see any reason why you wouldn't spend the extra resources to make all your units that much more effective. Sometimes it's hard to find the time or the energy to like worry about upgrades and stuff, but trust me, it pays off dividends later on in the game. It's so worth it, and a lot of people just don't focus on upgrades that much. And I feel like when you're meching, or even biomech, which it doesn't matter, upgrades are just so important.
Yeah, it's very true. And it looks like the Terran's getting almost maxed here, and the Zerg is he's a little bit ahead in harvesters, he's ahead in bases right now, but it looks like he's sending his mutapack down. Is he going to snipe that 4th, or is he just hanging out? I don't know. We'll find out. The Terran has a couple of Hellions. I don't know, maybe scouting, trying to clean up some more drones. He's getting 6 kills on that Hellion. Haypro's been getting his harvesters, you know, ripped up this game, but he's got a nice ball of roaches and blings. Those roaches can, you know, tank a lot of that early front load from those siege tanks and the Thors, so he can roll in with his banelings right behind them, and they won't all get exploded by the tank. So I think he has a little buffer of roaches for that. And I like his side positioning over here. His army's in a good spot, and now he's going in to snipe this guy's 4th, because you can't really let a Terran hang out on 4 bases. It's just not a good thing to do. So
the Terran, realizing his 4th is pretty much kaput, it's trying to push again here, straight through the gold and straight to the heart of the Zerg with this macro hatch that is natural. If Haypro loses this, it's pretty much game. Haypro actually playing very intelligently, backs off here. And one thing this Terran player really isn't doing is he's not spreading his tanks very well. He kind of just like moves his entire ball as one unit, and he doesn't. He has all of his fighting unit key, and he's just not really playing that intelligently with his tanks. But if you look at what Haypro's up to,
this is amazing right here. So what he's doing, he's got a good spread. Look at that arc. It's, you know, almost 2 screens wide, and now what he's doing is just moving all of his units through. All of his banelings are just going through. He's just right-clicking behind the army, letting them explode as they get killed, maybe attack moving every now and then, and just attacks moving through roaches. And wow, he just cleaned up that 200 ball of Terran that is so scary. I mean, he was maybe just finished his max, and he handled that very well. The micro and the whole setup that the Terran did, just on the outside perimeter of those tanks and the outside range that the Terran can hit, and then just crushing them. It was very nice.
Yeah, that was really, really well done by Haypro right there. Like, as Terran, honestly, when I'm in a situation like that, I feel like there's almost like nothing the Zerg can do, especially when I get into a really good position like right in here. I think having all of his tanks like a lot more spread out, especially against Zerg, man, that's such a big deal, because it forces the Lings and Banelings to travel from tank to tank, and there's such a greater distance between the tanks. If you have all the tanks like clumped up in one position and they can just get surrounded by Lings and Banelings and just collapse on, it's terrible for the Terran. So and he did clean up that 4th. The Terran just really not even mining at this point. His gold is pretty much mined out. His main is pretty much mined out. He doesn't really need the gas at this point. He's got 1,200 gas, so he's lifting his main. And he's going to head over here to his 4th again, but it looks like he might get that picked off. No, he's got some Marines here, so he'll be able to fend off these mutas. Picking off the Raven right there, I really like that.
That was nice, that was nice. And now at this point, Haypro's just got his mutapack flocking around the map, just doing damage, building up his army. He's still mining a lot more than the Terran is. You know, he's almost got he's got 6 times the mining right now, so the Terran's just trying to hold on, trying to get a base to mine from, but right now, Zerg's got map control. He's looking really good.
Yeah, losing that 4th is really what killed the Terran. If he had had that 4th up the whole time, maybe if he had added 5 or 6 turrets around that 4th and just super fortified it and then done his push, I think he would have been a lot better off. And I think that's something to worry about, but it looks like, oh, actually, TreefOu lifting up his 4th there, intelligently, just getting Baneling bombed on. Haypro spreading out all of his units again. And, wow, I really like that, spreading all of your units so that when you move in, the tanks don't just shell giant packs of your units.
The tank AE is so strong, but as you can see, with all those mules being dropped, he caught up for a little bit. as far as the income goes, but at this point, his CC's burning. He's down to his last troops. He's just trying to hold on here, just trying to make one final stand. But it looks like Haypro's, commanding this game right now.
That's kind of like the patrol micro that we were talking about. Like when you patrol all your banelings and lings or whatever, and then hit stop and auto spreads them all out.
Yeah, it gives you a nice spread with that. It's a really good thing to do, and he kind of did something similar up there at his natural when he just crushed that 200 ball of Terran army with really good control. And it's not like he crushed it with ultras and fasters and broodlords. He crushed it with roaches, banelings, and mutas. So that really shouldn't always be happening necessarily, but just due to his good positioning, his good setup, he was really able to trade efficiently with the Terran.
Yeah, it's not like Haypro was even up that far in upgrades either. I mean, his roaches have no upgrades, and his ground melee has 2 upgrades, and his air is 1/1. The Terran has 2 attack finally on both ground and air, but like imagine if the Terran was 3-3-3-3. And when he had that 200 ball, like that would have made such a big difference, even with the crappy tank spread that he had. And it looks like the Terran right now is just realizing, like, hey, I really got to make something happen here. So he's trying to push on the Zerg's 4th. I think he should have done this a long, crept his way over to the 4th right here, because you just can't allow the Zerg to have that like tertiary expo on your side of the map, just chilling, mining for him this whole time. It's a terrible situation to be in, especially when the Zerg could freely take this expo on the left. There's really nothing you can do about that at this point, especially with all these mutas harassing and just constantly forcing him to... I mean, really, Haypro has prevented him from mining at this 4th for like the last, 10 minutes. Like, he's got 13 SCVs at this point. He's been doing a great job harassing.
Yeah, just picking off SCVs all he can. He's just... At this point, he's just making sure he wins, and there's really nothing that, at this point, that the Terran can do. It's over. So great showing by Haypro, that's for sure. Now he's trying to kill some more drones, I guess, but what is that really going to be doing?
Yeah, at this point it's just a matter of cleaning up this final Terran army, and he just crushes it right there. Haypro sitting at 146, and GG is called. So that was another really good game from Haypro right there, and this is kind of why we've been jocking him lately. He's a smart player, he has good macro, but he does a lot of things that set him apart from a lot of the other Zergs. Like, he doesn't just attack move into giant balls and lose his entire army. He does cute infestor play. So over the series of the last like 3 games that we casted for you guys, we just wanted to highlight him a little bit. He's going to be playing in the GSL. He's not a very talked about player, and we think he's really good. So
yeah, I was definitely impressed when I saw these replays. But yeah, enjoy. Hope you guys liked watching.
Yeah, take it easy.